Kanan in this as much as you and me. And he in it because of you. Because you ain't shit as a hustler or as a mother. You know, Kanan came here to talk to me about working together. About linking the fuck your shit up. Boy, on that enemy of my enemy is my friend tip.
What about that other nigga you was talking about?
Unique most definitely down with this crime. Plus, he got the Italian connect, so we gonna need him.
At least in the short term.
All right, y'all. So I have some early predictions about Raising Kanan season 5, and it's gonna be quite interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So before I even get started on today's video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, get on in here, because I think that with the introduction of Branford, aka Breeze, and we've got to see like Kanan and Breeze meet each other, and I think seeing how season 5 is gonna be like the last season, and we got so much stuff that's gonna be happening. I think that it's about time that they bring in like D-Wiz's brother, because I'm thinking that if Kanan is gonna go as far as to attempt to kill Rock, even though I'm gonna still stand on business and say that Rock is not dead. Now, if he's was going forward with the plan to kill Rock, what's to say that he may not try to kill Lulu at the end? Because this whole conversation that Lulu kept on having with Kanan about he killed D-Wiz, right? And it's like he shoulders like the responsibility of killing D-Wiz, even though he could have told Rock no, but it's like he shoulders like the responsibility because Lulu finally accepted who he is as a person and what his role is, like regarding like following like Rock and helping her out and protecting the family. Like he's already accepted who he is. So I'm like, if he's already accepted who he is, then what's to say like Kanan doesn't really just clean up shop? Like season 5 is just like Kanan and Breeze cleaning up shop for them to take over the streets and then to like set up and prepare for like Power Origins. Because I'm thinking that if we do get the introduction of like D-Wiz's brother, right, and then D-Wiz's brother's like pissed off or whatever because he's like, yo, dude, like what happened, my brother died, and then he goes to find Kanan and try to get answers from Kanan and be like, yo, what happened to my brother got taken out, what the fuck happened, right? And what's to say Kanan just be like, you know what, fuck this shit, right? Rock was responsible, but also Lulu had a part to play in killing him, and he just say, you know what, Lulu did it, and he just tells D-Wiz's brother, like, if you want to go after him, go ahead, fuck it, just go after him, right? And then D-Wiz's brother goes to find Lulu, and he kills him. Now I think if we don't get to see that, right, I would have liked it, the idea of B-Rilla being like D-Wiz's brother. I would have liked it, the idea of it, like, let's just say like B-Rilla was like playing stupid throughout, like his character was to be like dumb, but not really, like he was just playing an act. I would have loved if they would have done that, but that's like too much storytelling for him to like pretend he's not, but he really is, and he like, oh, you was the one that killed my brother. But they're not going to do that. But like I said, I think that seeing how season 5 is going to be it, like all the big and major deaths should really come, and I think that when they tie in like the storylines, it's going to make a lot of sense. Because my prediction for like season 5, I think Marvin should die to advance like Jukebox's storyline. I think Lulu should definitely catch a bullet, right? But I think it should be more of Kanan just cleaning up shop, right? Like he takes out, well, he have Lulu gets taken out, right? If D-Wiz's brother may or may not show up, which he needs to, because come on, this is it, right? We finally got Breeze, so I think they should have D-Wiz brother show up and maybe get revenge on Lulu or something, right? And then at the same time, the stuff that's happening with Rock, I would prefer if Rock loses both Marvin and Lulu, and then she has to forcibly step down and she's no longer in Queens, where like the loss of losing both her brothers was so traumatic that she can't stay in like Queens anymore, and she just leaves. That's what I think I would prefer for that ending for Rock, right? Rather than her just going out swinging or whatever. Because seeing how we know she would never kill Kanan, right, then I think the only option for her is just for her to leave. Because I think that what's going to happen too is that something is going to probably happen to like Unique's character. I think Rock could probably kill Unique, right? I could strongly see like probably like Rock killing Unique, or Snaps and Pops might try to use those crooked cops again to try to like get rid of Unique. But then I think it could expose their hand, because the little tease that they said to Kanan, where he was just like, well, you and Breeze is going to work together, and yeah, Unique is going to be there, but then at some point in time, Unique is not going to be there because they don't want Unique. They want Kanan and Breeze to work together rather than having like Unique there. So I think that's going to like expose their little plan right there of probably maybe getting these crooked cops to probably try to get Unique, but then Unique is going to probably either kill these crooked cops, right, and then maybe inform Kanan like, yo, like, did you have something to do with this? And be like, have something to do with what? And then he might explain to him like, yeah, Snaps and Pops had these, he had these cops try to kill me. And then I think that's when that shit is gonna probably snap in his brain and be like, they tried to kill motherfucker. And I think that's when he's gonna be like, they was the ones that killed Famous and Crystal, not Rock. But then it's gonna like how you say, get in the way of like the partnership that he's gonna have with Breeze. So unless Breeze gives Kanan like the okay, like, well, I don't really care about them like that anyway, you go ahead and do this shit, right? Then I could see something like that happen, because I think going forward with the story, because they will, this is not gonna like hurt the relationship between like Kanan and Breeze. There's gonna probably be a way for them to get, well, for Kanan to probably get his revenge on like Snaps and Pops without having like the relationship hurt between like him and Breeze. So I think that's what's going to probably happen. But then I still think that if Rock doesn't kill Unique, then unless you would save that for Kanan in a way where it's just like, okay, you would give Kanan like a reason to kill Unique, even though again they don't really have like any heat or beef with each other. So I think that kill probably might go to Rock. I think that kill probably might go to Rock, but I think she probably might kill Unique. Right, because I think it only makes sense, because if Kanan killed Ronnie because Ronnie at the time was trying to kill Rock and he was trying to protect Rock, then I think it's only fair if maybe Rock would kill Unique, or in a way, if maybe if Snaps and Pop was to get the drop on Unique, like let's just say like he got a bullet in his stomach or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as to say like probably like Snaps and Pop. I think I'm gonna go with probably Rock. I'm gonna go with Rock. That's my final pick. I'm gonna go with probably like Rock. That's gonna probably like kill Unique at some point. And yeah, but like I said, I think like going forward with like the story, Marvin at some point is gonna have to die, because again, this is gonna have to advance like the storyline with Jukebox, because as Jukebox was talking to Aisha and she was saying like she wants to stick around Marvin, because she was like, yeah, he changed for her and he really needs her, but then she's not gonna realize that when he dies, she's not gonna have Marvin anymore. And then when Kanan and Jukebox is gonna have like this fight, she's not gonna have Kanan for a little while, because she's gonna be like, I don't recognize Kanan anymore because he's different now. He's much more violent. He's more aggressive with it. And then she's not going to really have him for like a little while until she changes her name, leaves, and that's when she becomes a cop and stuff. Because like I said, I think that whole name changing thing ain't going to probably happen until maybe like the death of Marvin. I think that's what's going to probably happen. And then the person who probably might help her with all of that probably might be Garcia. Because Garcia seems like he's a well-connected guy. So I could probably see like Garcia, helping out Jukebox in a way. If he doesn't get popped or anything. So I could probably see like Garcia being the one that's going to probably like help Jukebox transition to like becoming a cop or anything. So I think that's what's going to probably happen. And I think like some of the storylines that they have in like season 5, they're going to probably like tie up and then just prepare, Kanan and Breeze to take over the streets, and then have them transition over to like Power Origins, where we will probably get to see more of Ghost and Tommy. Because I think that in season 5, I think maybe like towards the ending of like season 5, I think that's when we're gonna probably get an introduction of like Ghost and Tommy, or probably we might see Ghost before we probably might see Tommy, or maybe both of them. Who knows how they're gonna probably spin the story, but we probably might see Ghost first, and then be like, oh, okay, this is Ghost, and whatever with his story, and then eventually we get to see his dad, and then maybe his mother, right? And then that's when, okay, bam, Power Origins, and then they just start off. I want to say maybe take off where they, well, start where they left off at, because they have to explain like Ghost and Tommy's story first, I believe, and then they can probably like pick up after at some point where they meet Ghost and Tommy, and then be like, okay, now it takes place here and there, whatever, because like Power Origins is gonna be big, because you're gonna have to explain a bunch of stuff about Ghost and Tommy and the stuff that went on in their lives, and then now when they transition over to like them meeting like Kanan and Breeze, but yeah, like I said, I think this is like the 5th season. I can see like Lulu, Marvin dying, Rock surviving but completely broken, or she's in a coma, one of the two, right? Jukebox and Kanan, I'm gonna predict that they're gonna probably have that fight. They're gonna have like that vicious fight. B-Rilla is most likely gonna die. The Trenton guys dead, fucking dead. And then Unique, I could probably see like Unique and Rock probably like going at it for like one last time, and then maybe Rock probably being the one to killing Unique. But I think before that happens, I think Unique is gonna probably have something to do with Snaps and Pop, because again, he gave off the hint like, yeah, he gonna be with y'all for a little while, but then eventually he ain't gonna be around anymore. So like I said, I think they're gonna probably do something to try to like kill Unique, and then that's when maybe Unique might tell Kanan about it. Or if Unique doesn't tell Kanan about it, then maybe Jukebox, right? Or maybe Rock, one of the two, one of the three that probably might inform Kanan that, well, it was this woman that did it, but they might describe her as, oh, she was she's Pops. She was the one that, killed Crystal, and then that's when he's gonna probably start thinking about it. But okay, they was the ones that killed Famous and Crystal, because it's only a matter of time until that whole truth comes out. But like I said, I think it's not gonna affect the relationship between like Breeze and Kanan. It's not gonna affect their relationship, because we don't know how their relationship is gonna be in season 5, because I'm thinking that Breeze could probably just give like Kanan the okay, or he can probably do this shit, be like, well, they had to go because they killed my girlfriend and my best friend, and he probably be like, well, fuck it, it's the game, it is what it is, right? There's no friends or brothership when it comes down to the game in the streets. It's always, keep your friends close and your enemies closer type thing. But at the end of the day, you can't really trust nobody, and that's a life lesson that Kanan and Breeze taught both Ghost and Tommy. So that's why I'm saying I think there's going to be like some loose ends that's going to be like tied up, hopefully, because we got to see like D-Wiz's brother. We got to see that, because I'm still leaning on to him trying to, he's going to probably find Kanan and try to question him like, yo, what the hell happened? Like, what's going on? And then with all of the information that's going on right now, it would probably lead to suspicion of maybe D-Wiz's brother might probably try to come after Kanan, maybe for the wrong reasons, as how Kanan went after Rock for the wrong reasons, and be like, you was the one that probably killed my brother, and then find out like, whoa, Famous and whatever, now he's dead. Because it would make like a really good argument that Kanan was the one that killed, D-Wiz and Famous, and like I said, D-Wiz's brother could probably go after him for the wrong reason, and he'd be like, I didn't do it, I had nothing to do with it. So I could see that, but hopefully they play their cards right, and we can get like more story development with everybody, and them tying up some loose ends and just passing everything over to Kanan and Breeze, and then transitioning over to like Power Origins. But we shall see what they do. But overall, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Drop your comments down below and tell me what you think, and catch you all in the next one.